What are the main issues on the agenda when it comes to the e-commerce at the upcoming WTO MC14?
At the upcoming MC14, e commerce is likely to be on the agenda in three key ways. The first is the multilateral e commerce moratorium. The moratorium is a commitment that WTO members have maintained for over 2 decades, in which they've agreed not to impose any customs duties on the electronic transmissions that gets transferred across their borders. In recent years, however, maintaining the moratorium has become increasingly controversial. A number of developing country members have argued that it should be lifted. Their view is doing so would allow them to regain policy space, including the ability to consider tariffs for fiscal revenue purposes on fast growing digital products, and potentially to use tariffs as part of a broader industrial policy strategy to support the development of their domestic digital industries. Other WTO members, which includes developed economies and many developing economies, have cautioned against ending the moratorium. They argue that doing so would introduce significant uncertainty for the global economy, for digital trade, it would raise costs for businesses and consumers, and contribute to a much more fragmented global digital marketplace. At MC14, members will be considering three options. One is to continue the moratorium on a temporary basis, as has been done in the past. A second option, led by the United States, is to continue the moratorium on an open-ended basis, in practice making it permanent. Now, if neither option can be agreed, members would fall back on a previously agreed decision under which the moratorium would expire at MC14. In short, the options are continue it temporarily, make it permanent, or allow it to expire. The second topic on the agenda is the WTO's multilateral work program on e-commerce. This work program provides structured space for WTO members to discuss e-commerce and trade-related issues at the multilateral level. In recent years, it has become particularly important for developing economies as a forum to explore digital trade issues and the development dimension associated with them. At MC14, it is not only the moratorium that is set to expire, but also this broader work program. Here, the key question is whether members will allow that expiry to take effect, or whether they will be able to agree on a new decision to maintain it. The third major topic is the e-commerce joint statement initiative. A group of WTO members has concluded negotiations on the legal text of a plurilateral agreement on e-commerce, and 72 members are now supporting a request to have it formally incorporated into the WTO's treaty architecture as a plurilateral trade agreement. However, incorporation requires consensus from the entire WTO membership, and that consensus has not yet been achieved, as some WTO members have raised formal objections. Supporters argue that the agreement would establish baseline global rules on e-commerce, increasing predictability and creating a more stable environment for businesses and consumers to engage in digital trade. They also see incorporation as a way to demonstrate the continued relevance of the WTO and its ability to develop rules that are suited to the digital era. Those opposing incorporation, however, point to concerns about the substance of the agreement, as well as broader systemic implications of incorporating such an agreement for the WTO's multilateral agenda. At MC14, co-sponsors may seek a ministerial level decision on incorporation, but it remains unclear whether the current deadlock on consensus can be overcome. In short, the three key topics on e-commerce to look out for at the MC14 is the moratorium, the work program, and the e-commerce joint statement initiative agreement. What I presented here was a very high-level overview. For those interested in a deeper dive, we at ISD have recently published a state of play report that explores these issues in much more detail. We hope it will serve as a useful briefing resource for trade delegates in the lead up to MC14. Please do check it out. Thank you.